What's going on with business credit and some of these business credit bureaus? A lot of business owners don't even know their business has a credit score. What? My business has a credit score. We're going to talk a little bit about what's going on there, what you can do to kind of protect your business credit and how you can be proactive about managing it, et cetera, et cetera. Business credit. What time? My business has a credit score? I mean, I knew Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion are going to give me a personal credit score, but my business has a credit score too? What?
Yeah, shockingly. And thankfully, Leo, that's an industry that's changed and adapted a lot over the last decade. But it seems like 10 years ago, it was just, hopefully something's reported to Dun & Bradstreet, and hopefully you figured out how to go out and get your DUNS number so that you were in Dun & Bradstreet's system and they could actually give you a Paydex score, because that was really like the number one go-to thing that lenders would look at. Now you've got Experian's IntelliScore that's gaining a lot of traction. You've got Equifax that has a business credit score. Dun & Bradstreet actually has a few different scores now. So it's something that's evolved quite a bit, and it needed to, but it's still, especially with Dun & Bradstreet, it's this big game of purchasing credit worthiness, and it's kind of bogus.
It is. Like they want to sell you something, you call them up and they're like, yeah, it'll be $3,000. We're going to build your business credit for you. And, they really don't do much for the money that they take historically. Now, maybe that's changed. You know what I'm reminded of? I'm reminded of this school in Riverside County in Southern California. It was a private school, and we were looking to get them financing. I don't know why. I was just really dialed into business credit at the time, and I pulled up their Dun & Bradstreet profile, and they had like an F score, like their Paydex score. I think it was like 32, so it was super low. And we looked into it, and we realized that literally the school that they had moved into, there was another business or school there, and they had inherited, just because they were in the same location, the bad credit score. And so that's what's happened here with personal credit. There's the Fair Credit Reporting Act. There's a lot more laws out there to protect consumers if there's something inaccurate being posted on credit, which happens, maybe a little bit less than it used to, but it certainly happens to people. And so they have recourse and a path that they can follow to dispute and maybe get those items removed that are negative and inaccurate. But if you're a business owner, it's a much more complicated process. And so if something's reporting inaccurately, like, you've got to jump through some hoops. So we had to put together all this legal documentation to show, hey, this is a different business with a different name. It took 45 days. They eventually took it off. And that couple that owned that school, $350,000 in 0% card stacking just among both of them. So it was like a record. The lady, she was a boss. She got over 200,000 in 0% cards, a lot of them in the name of the business. And if we hadn't gotten that taken care of, like, she would have gotten much, much less. And so that's what's kind of concerning in this article, is there isn't really a path that if something's incorrect on your business credit, to get that fixed.
Yeah, it is. And it's one of these things where I have clients do this all the time. They get rejected for a card, and they're like, oh, they said it's because I'm not with Dun & Bradstreet. And Dun & Bradstreet will literally say, yeah, if you're not registered in our system, someone can try and report something on your business and pretty much toss it out the window because you didn't give us your money and get registered in the system.
100%.
I think it is getting easier to go get that DUNS number and find workarounds to not pay for it, but still it's a messy situation. I would love to see something like the Fair Credit Reporting Act come in and protect businesses as well, because there's how many, Leo, like 90 million businesses, when you look at gig workers, small businesses, 100%. Business credit is becoming just as vital as personal credit, and we've got to kind of get a grip on this.
Yeah, you can't get an SBA loan without a good FICO SPSS score, which is taking into account your Dun & Bradstreet, Business Experian, and Equifax business scores. And so, yeah, you're right. Like, it's more and more important to have good business credit, and still a lot of people don't know about it, and even fewer know how to, because the other thing that's super weird, like on your personal credit will say, oh, this account's with Chase or Bank of America or whoever it's with, right? But your business credit accounts, like, they don't actually give you the name, so you're not even sure, well, wait, who is this even with? And it's just kind of super confusing and not very, it's not very transparent. And yet, get, but it's also transparent in the fact that it's not publicly protected, right? Your personal credit score, you have to give somebody authorization to pull your credit, but with business credit, it's public record. Anybody can check and see if you've got a good business credit score with Dun & Bradstreet because it's public record. But then you can't even find out, well, who's actually reporting for me? Like it's this nebulous secret society. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, absolutely. So I encourage you all. I mean, go if you're a business owner, go educate yourself. There's a lot of content out there. There's a lot of bogus content too. So make sure you're really doing your homework on business credit. No, you don't need to pay someone $10,000 to go get you a 85, 90 Paydex score and a bunch of corporate credit with Quill and Uline and Home Depot. If those things start coming up, I'd start to do some homework, but definitely educate yourselves on business credit because it's very real. It's not going anywhere. It's a bogus game you have to play, but if you want to really get good business credit offers, you've got to play the game right now.
100%, guys. The good news is if you do apply at sevenfiguresfunding.com, we actually have a free gift that we can give you that will help you with personal and business credit and really educate you on the steps. And we give that away for free to people just for applying at Seven Figures Funding because, we're on a mission to not only help business, join the Seven Figures Club of, only 7% of businesses get there, but to also educate and empower you about all the things related to business and credit that they didn't teach us in school.